Wassalamu alaikum. I come in peace. The video we're about to watch right now, it's already a long one, so I'll make my submission on the caption in the comment section. Have a look.
So imagine I just spent 10 minutes making a video venting out my frustration and boop, I hit the wrong button and it deleted. But let's go again because I am vexed. Now, if you notice my eyes are red because mama over here has been busy crying, because in this Nigeria, if you don't wake up in stress and anxiety, they are not okay. If it's not the government trying to screw you, basically, it's your landlords or it's the people. It's always something in this country. But today I'm vexing. Today I'm actually so exhausted. So let me tell you how my night went. So for the first time yesterday, I was able to get into the routine of my painting. I ended up going to sleep by 9 a.m. today, knowing that I have a lot of work, but I was into it. I said, God, please, now that you brought back my desire again, let me paint. Go to sleep by 9 o'clock. I wake up this morning. I said I will wake up later on, but my phone rings. And when I look at my WhatsApp, I see a message from my landlord. Now, mind you, when I moved to Nigeria the first time, I lived in Ikoyi and my rent was 2.5 million, right? It was a fantastic deal. The exterior of the house wasn't, but I made it inside my little safe haven. Now, they had a JV, right? So we had to move. I struggled very hard to find a place. I finally found one that was big enough to carry both my studio and my home. Cool. The problem now is the bill was way higher than what I was used to. It was 8 million. I said, whew. But the problem also was they did not want 1 year rents because landlords in Nigeria now in Lagos have decided that no, they must suck your blood at the end of the day. So they asked for 2 years rent, apart from 10% legal fee, 10% caution fee, and 10% lawyer agency fee. Yeah, pay for 2 years, calm. Now, there were some little things I noticed at the beginning of me getting this house. And I'm like, oops, this might be a problem for me later. But I'm like, you know what? The God I serve is very strong. So let's go. Now, this is my 4th year in this house, right? Last year, 2 months before the expiration of my 2 years rent, my landlord decides to send me a bill saying, listen, this is the new increase. 2 months before, he went from 8 million, which was already high, because God knows it's not just rents. It is abnormal, the amount of rent in Lagos. No problem. Now, I will say, okay, let me move to the mainland. But guess what? My work, it will affect my work and I cannot be spending hours in traffic. What do you think the new rent is? He went from 8 million to 14.5 million. And I'm like, what? Out of my sleep, I woke up and I called him. And of course, out of vexation and confusion at this point, I'm like, and then I start crying because me, like I always say, I cry when I'm happy or when I cannot beat somebody up or say what I want to say, because this is how it is. People pinch you, people beat you, and then they tell you not to cry, and they tell you how to cry, and they tell you actually, words. Finally, I had to get my lawyer involved because clearly it wasn't going anywhere with my landlord, you know. Finally spoke to him and everything. He now says, listen, okay, let's do 12 million. I spoke to my lawyer. I said, see, because of the way the economy is, like everything I work for cannot be going into rent. Please talk to him that this rent is made for at least 2 years. It cannot be increased every goddamn year. He said, I don't know what happened, but anyway, now had to struggle to make the balance of the rent, which 8 million was already high. Now we are 12 million. This morning, I wake up to the message from him. Let me read you this message, because at this point, maybe God is trying to tell me that I should just fix my life in a different way. Look at this message. Good morning, Wendy. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Your rent will be expiring in 2 months and some days from now. I decided not to write official letter to you regarding increments because I don't want to put you under emotional stress like you displayed the last time. I want you to kindly respond to this message on how much you want to add on your own consideration as an increment, bearing in mind that 2-bedroom flats are now 12 million in that neighborhood. 4-bedroom duplex with BQ like the one you occupied is in between 20 and 25 million. You see where we're going? Okay. At the moment in your neighborhood. But I want you to respond what you consider fair as an upward review from 12 million you paid. First of all, I didn't know we're trying to get rich off people's backs. Are we living in the same economy? The same economy that pays average people 70K per month. 70,000 as a civil servant. You now expect the rest of us. Because after all, every time I argue with them, they tell me, now you be on board and you can handle it. I never knew that being light-skinned means that we just have surplus of money. That's why when people come and they're like, oh, do this for me, pay my rent. People, just yesterday, somebody had the audacity to say, oh, please give me 1 million. I say, how? I barely sleep again. I barely sleep. I'm always stressed. And I always tell people, don't wait till this economy affects you before you start speaking up. Because this economy will hit every person. Not been able to save in a while. Can't do anything. I have to cut out the things I like because, look at it. I stayed stressed the whole year because I knew he would do something like this. And I responded very politely. See, listen. First of all, by law, you should give a yearly tenant 6 months notice before you have any increase. The only reason he's actually doing this right now is because he knows that if I was to change apartments, they will probably charge me 2 years and the stress of moving. So no, let's bombard her. But you see, I vexed this time. I'd rather sleep under the bridge than have to be pushed into a corner that I cannot. Life still has to happen. Diesel is at an all-time high. Like, we cannot even, it's unrealistic at this point. How much we spend and how much money goes back. We are literally stressing and dying just to pay people. Just to pay people. How can I be spending more than I make for rent? It doesn't even make sense. But no problem. I responded to him. I said, see, listen, first of all, send me an official letter because all this, it's not going to work, And then I stated all the things I have had to fix because according to my contract, he was supposed to take care of anything external that gets destroyed, damaged. I've been the one that reset the sewage tank. I'm the one that had to fix the whole yard because it was sinking from a flood. This estate was promised 24 hours electricity. Nothing like that. We barely see lights. There's flood every other day, but no problem. Then he says, the house beside, and I reminded him how the house next to me, which is his own, has been available for over a year now. And he tells me, and they keep renovating, and he tells me the house beside you has been given out since September last year, which is not true because there's nobody that would pay rent or buy a house that will spend this much time away from the house. It is clear from your voice message that you are a trouble-ready tenant. Your message is well noted. And then he now fires with another one, basically that he's doing me a favor that he did not keep it at 40 million. See, maybe it is time for me to move. Maybe it is time for God to change my story. Maybe it is time for me to stop feeling anxious every single year. Because today you're telling me, oh, I should just use my sense to increase rent, but you're giving me a in-between. You're supposed to give me notice. Nobody has money just sitting around waiting for rent to be increased all the time. And you deem me almost like a troublesome tenant, somebody that pays you the day before my tenancy is due. I paid so that you do not stress yourself chasing me down, because I could have done that. But no, I pay you on time, in full. I do not bother you anymore because you scream every time I call you to fix something. You tell me, am I the only tenant in existence? No problem. I maintain this house with the swampy areas around. I do that, but no. I guess I'm not good enough as a client. And my question is, what the hell is the Lagos state government doing about landlords? Since this new administration came into power, all I hear people do is complain about landlords every single day, and nothing is being done. Nothing is being done. We are asked to pay 2 years rent from where? We meant to enter road at this point, Abby, because that's what is expected of people like me. After all, she's fair skinned. She'll probably make a good buck over there. What are we doing, yo? It is impossible. If the average salary is 70K, the percentage of rich people in Nigeria is not more than 20%, not even 20%, let's say 10. But we are expected to, God. See, there's a God there. But one thing I know is I will not be pushed to the corner. I will not be pushed to accept something I cannot afford and then put myself into more stress.
You've seen, you've watched it all. I want you to draw your conclusions in the comment section below. See you on the next one. Thank you for watching.